over here.
So it didn't play for Brooke. Got it.
No, it did not.
Here. Okay, we're keeping all this in. David, button, please. Because I'm really confused why no one can hear it. Because it's like the third time in the last week.
Look over here.
You heard it that time? Okay.
Heard it that time.
What the fuck?
Maybe it's just one of those things where it needs a little bit of time to warm up. It just needs one test run and then it's good.
Okay, I hope so. Anyway. Hello, uglies. And welcome to the
Look over here.
Oh.
I thought you were doing it the Lana way.
No. No.
You know, we have a good time here at the Cup.
Oh God! Welcome to the Cup, the
Look
Currently
away.
Unnamed Podcast, where we put the look away. Just look away. Welcome to the Cup, and welcome to. There you go, David.
Look over here.
Thank you. Our exclusive companion series where we're diving into the looks from the floor show from episode 3 of Dragula. I'm Logan. Y'all know me. I'm drinking water. Cup mug.
Cup mug.
I just fell out of my chair.
Oops.
What was the audio? It didn't play for me.
Oh, that one? You couldn't hear that one? Oh. Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I'm still wearing my Vicky Black shirt. Yes. Ooh.
Work, bitch.
Fun.
Work, bitch.
I was drinking water, but I just finished it.
Hi, I'm Brooke. Welcome to the Cup of Chaos here today. Do we know what's going to happen next? No. Are we going to do our best to try to make it run slightly less goofy than we have? Absolutely.
I hope this show gets canceled and never renewed.
Insert the rest of the intro here. I'm not doing it. We're just gonna go to looks.
Oh
Subscribe,
God.
please. We do this chaotically a lot. Thank you.
Oh my Lord.
Oh dear God. Oh my God. Here's the floor show theme. It's Holiday of Horrors. Woo. My wrist
Ooh,
really hurts.
I love that background.
I'm gonna go get some ice while y'all talk about our first monster, Auntie Heroine.
Well, Halloween, a little bit on the nose for Dracula, but I think Auntie's look was fantastic. I'm still stunned at the filth element of this look. It was the only one that legit caught me off guard, to be honest. I think this look was really good. I don't think it was top 3 worthy for me, but I think it was really, really solidly constructed. I think Auntie is just one of those people that's going to be impressing me the entire season. So, yeah, solid work. And the filth gagged the fuck out of me, pun intended.
Yeah, interesting. This is definitely my least favorite thing we've seen from Auntie so far. Not that it's bad by any means. It's actually kind of clever if you think about it to do Halloween, because who else is going to do Halloween? Like, nobody's going to think to do that. And I feel like it's kind of the same way with Christmas. Nobody thought to do Christmas. But as far as the look goes, like, there's a lot of candy in some razor blades, which I thought was clever. I just wish it felt a little bit more cohesive and like it was trying to make a look instead of things just randomly jumbled on her. So that's the only thing about the look that kind of took me out of it. I think the earrings are cool. I did appreciate her filth with the throwing up, although it's been done a few times before on Dragula. So I wasn't like, oh wow, mind blown. Because I mean, Vander, nobody can take away the shock value we had when Vander did it. But overall, I thought this was good, but it is on my lower end for the night. You're muted.
Fuck this shit. This is why I don't come on the Look Over Here's for Dragula, because everything goes wrong when I do.
Look over here.
This is also the first one I've done this season, so
Wow.
I just won't come back to Look Over Here. No, I'm kidding. Nothing about what Auntie did here was reinventing the wheel, but I didn't mind it, honestly. I think the execution of the garment is really, really good. The garment alone is one of my favorite looks of the night. And I agree with you, David. The filth element, while successful, and while I will say probably one of the better filth elements we got in this floor show, it's been done before, and it was done better by Vander. But it was still not bad by any means of the imagination. And I think if Auntie had been in the top, I wouldn't have been upset about it. But overall, very solid.
And for the record, as someone who has not watched season 1 of Dragula, it's the only season I have not watched. I even if it has been done before, I still think it wasn't what I was expecting to happen with this look. Yeah. And therefore I thought it was really cool. Because for the most part, I think most of the filth that was associated with the looks this week were what I expected them to do. Just like based off of what they were presenting with and like what they were going for. So I'm not like saying, oh, this is like game-changing drag or anything, but like I enjoyed it.
Scores.
An 85.
82.
85. Next up, Yuri. No guy.
From a look-only area, I really enjoyed this. I think it's really simple, but like again, it doesn't always have to be over the top and elaborate. If you can make something simple and effective, I think that works. The performance is where I was lost. The filth didn't really hit for me. The heart ends up being kind of like a movable purse sort of object, and like that didn't really work for me either. I think Yuri was in the bottom for me this week, and I think when we all talked about it, Yuri was in the bottom for all of us. I just think there was a few little things that could have been changed to make this performance better, and I don't know what they were, but I feel like there were edits that needed to be had.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. As far as the look goes, I actually kind of like it. I think it's kind of cool to do like a deconstructed like taxidermy teddy bear with all the stitching in there. I thought that was pretty cool. I think my biggest issue is it didn't feel consistent all the way through the look, like especially her face. Like her face looks great, like very, very great makeup, but I don't get bear from it. So I wish she had something there, like a prosthetic, to still keep that bear fantasy. And I kind of was into what she was doing with the filth. I just didn't fully understand what she was pulling out of there because it seemed like blood at first. And then I'm like, wait, is this blood or is this poop? And now it's looking more like poop because her face is very brown. But I kind of liked it. I didn't love it, but I wouldn't have had her in the bottom.
Yeah, I think from a purely look standpoint, it's a really good look. I love how I love the detailing on all of the seams on the teddy bear. I think that adds a really nice element to it. Unfortunately, what just brings it down is the performance. I did agree with the Boulets on that. I wanted Yuri to stand out more in the performance of this, and I think there were so many more creepy directions that Yuri could have gone that I think really would have elevated the look. I would have had Yuri in the bottom two based simply on the fact that I thought 8 other people did really well. Or 7 other people did really well, and 1 person was on stilts.
Stilts.
So, scores.
A 70.
83.
74. Sensibly.
A sensible 74.
Next up,
Vincent
pie.
Price?
What?
I want some pie.
Should have done Pie Day.
Should have done Pie Day.
And I'm still disappointed it's not P.
Well, P showed up in this diaper, I guess. But like,
Sure did.
She could go out there in a fucking diaper and then be like, Valentina, your smile is beautiful. Only time I'll get to ever reference that on Dragula, probably. So there you go. I think this was one of my favorites of the entire week. I think this fully answered the assignment really well. I think out of everyone, I think Pi was probably the most animated on the stage this week. And I think that really did serve Pi well. The walk was such a fun choice, but it matches the character so well. And it's tiny little details like that about performers that I think really sets them apart from others. Because, I mean, we had another Baby New Year and, you know, it wasn't anything like that. And I think Pi really, it helped sell the illusion a lot to me. I thought this should have been in the top. I get why it wasn't, because we did have the whole duplicates thing. But, like, if you're judging it solely on its merit, this was in my top 3.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because you would have switched it out for another look that had a duplicate. But yeah, I thought this was really good as well. Like, as soon as she comes out running, I'm like, whoa, that is a silhouette. Like, that is a body shape that you just don't see on these drag shows very often. And immediately I was grossed out with all the poop. I mean, honestly, I think babies just by themselves are already pretty gross. So this was a smart thing to go for filth. But there's a lot of like detailing on here that you might miss at first. Like, if you look at that head, like you can see like the stuff that's right under the skin, like just kind of shining through a little bit, which is a really cool attention to detail she had. And I really liked the performance of it, like a drunk baby who is just deep throating this wine bottle and then shooting out all the confetti. Like it was a really well thought out, fun, gross performance. So yeah, she would have been in my top 3 as well.
Hey, guess what? Pi was also in my top 3 because I talked about it in the recap. Yeah, I don't like babies. I think babies are gross. I think babies are disgusting, which is why I will never have one. With that being said, Pi destroyed this challenge. This was my second favorite of the night. I really just think all of the details are there. This headpiece is so dumb and stupid. The makeup is so dumb and stupid. Pi is so dumb and stupid. And this entire lower body section is dumb and stupid. I love it. Stupid fucking baby. Scores.
95.
87.
95. Next up, Jaharia.
Okay, well, first off, I gotta ride hard for my Run Remaining Soldier in the draft, so thank you, Jaharia, for sticking around this week and making sure I beat Brandon. Secondly, I thought this was really cool. I don't think this was, like, anywhere near the top for me. I think this was a resounding safe. But, like, the colors are so interesting. It's so bright. And something I really like about Jaharia is Jaharia sometimes has this really unique perspective where it's never the same thing, but every time it just feels like Jaharia. And I can't really explain that unless you've looked at the other things Jaharia has brought to the show. I do think the filth was where I kind of got a little bit lost for me. It didn't really hit very hard. But I think the actual look was so cool. I love my favorite Pisces because she's a self-centered bitch. Here for that. And I just, I love it. I love it so much. I think this was fantastic.
I agree. If we were just going off of like looks that I like the best, this would have been in my top 3. I think this is a great look. And it's kind of relatable because often when people ask me what my favorite holiday is, I'm like, oh, my birthday. But I say it like partially tongue in cheek, but also like, oh, I get to do whatever fun thing I want on my birthday to celebrate. But yeah, I thought this was really cool. Like, it is straight up clown, but there is like a creepy angle to it, even though it's so colorful. But I do agree with you. The thing that held it back is how far or how far she didn't go with the filth. Like it really was just sitting on a cake and eating the cake. I like that as a start, but I want something really gross to be inside of the cake, so that I'm really getting filth. Yeah, but still, overall, she was in my top half of the night.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, David. If this was based on look alone, it might have been one of my favorites, if not maybe my favorite. And I think the performance of it was actually really, really good as well. But as Jaharia said in the Long Ass Boudoir, when they were explaining their looks, filth is not something that comes very easily to her. And she knew it was going to be the biggest challenge for her. And unfortunately it was. Doing a dip on a birthday cake, for me, is not really filth.
No, but it's sickening.
It's sickening, but it's not really filth for me, which does bring the overall performance of my score a little bit lower. But what I want to talk about, because I haven't been on here for Look Over Here yet, is just how amazing of a makeup artist Jaharia is. I am absolutely obsessed with her mug. It is one of my favorite faces I've seen on a drag program ever. And the more that I've been thinking about it, Brooke, since you made the comment about like everything Jaharia does is a little bit different, but still like is Jaharia. For me, in that way, she would reside like on the same drag planet for me as Blackberry. Because Blackberry. Because everything Blackberry did was so Blackberry, but nothing was ever the same. And I'm really getting a lot of that too with Jaharia. And I love both of them. And I just think she does provide such an interesting aesthetic that is so useful and so necessary to have on Dragula. And I think she's wonderful. So, scores.
An 80.
86.
83.
+3, +3, +3. Woohoo.
What?
You was 80, and then +3 is 83, and then +3
Well,
is
it didn't go in order, so.
No, it didn't, but it did work.
Anyway, next up, Vivvi the Force.
It was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Definitely better than Majesty. Not a high bar, but better than Majesty. Okay, not true. Majesty's look was good. It just wasn't as good. Love the symbolism on display here. I think the filth was really creative. I think that was a really innovative idea. The reason I did not have Vivvi in my top, and it's such a small thing, I just think there were 3 people that I preferred to Vivvi this week. There was nothing I think Vivvi did that I was like, not really my thing. It was just, I really gravitated towards Pie, Asia, and Gray. But like, again, Vivvi being in the top, I get it, I see it, I understand. Just was like 4th or 5th for me, not 3rd.
Yeah, I like this. I thought the silhouette on this was great, like those extreme shoulders, and there was something about her body, especially like with how thin her legs looked in this. It just gave this like creepy, gangly feeling as she was just creeping around the stage, and I thought that was amazing. I think she had one of the best actual floor shows with how she presented everything with all of the meats, which was really grossing me out. Even like the drinking of the barbecue sauce and then just spitting it out everywhere. I thought that was really cool. The only thing that really held this back, and I've been somebody who, I think Vivvi's been in my top the first 2 weeks. This week she was not in my top, and it really is because I don't love this prosthetic. Like, I like the idea of a pig face prosthetic. I just don't think this looks nearly at the level it should be at, especially when you have people like Gray bringing absolute A game when it comes to prosthetics. This just feels a little cheap to me. So I wish it went a little bit harder, but I do appreciate that she's detail oriented, as she said in the episode, because you see that a lot throughout the look. It's just the face kind of held it back slightly.
Yeah, the face was actually what I was going to bring up as well, because everything else, because I was going to bring up the legs as well, because that's the part that stood out to me the most, is just how, like, wispy and how just gangly she looked, and that did add this kind of like intense creepiness to the look. I think the prosthetic is fine. I wish it was more detailed. That's really the big thing that I'm noticing, especially having this screenshot on the side. And I'm glad I pulled the faces because I was actually really curious. I want there to be a bit more detailing in the actual prosthetic. I think the prosthetic application and the way that it looks is good, but it could have been, it's at like a 70% for me, and I want it to be a little bit stronger. But overall, I think the floor show was very strong from Vivvi. Grilling the intestines is not a phrase I ever thought I would say. And yet I'm obsessed with it. And I'm obsessed with where Vivvi's inspirations come from. And her aesthetic is just so... I don't think we've ever seen an artist on Dragula like Vivvi. And I think that's really fun. So I enjoyed this, but it was not the greatest of the night. But I was happy she was in the top to at least get a critique.
I also want to say, like, with the prosthetic, I think my biggest issue is that there's not much mobility with it. It's a very static expression. So if she were to make any sort of expressions or move her mouth, you can't really see because the face is just in this one position and it's staying that way.
Scores.
84.
85.
80.
Work.
Next up, gray matter. Giant carrot coming out of the crotch, not included.
Can we keep like a running tally of sleep paralysis demons this season?
I thought you were on that.
I mean, I have been.
That's your job, Brooke.
I have been. Do we count Jennifer Tilly calling gray matter her sleep paralysis demon last week as well? Does that count? Okay, then that means we are currently up to 8 sleep paralysis demons on this season of Dragula, 4 of which have been inflicted by gray matter. Dear God. This is one of my favorite looks I have ever seen on this show. I'm sorry. This is incredible from top to bottom. I think as much as I loved Asia's look this week, and like I said, I'm not mad that Asia won, and I think it is totally valid. This is like some next level crap for me, and I was stunned that Gray did not win this week. I think this is like the most haunting Donnie Darko Easter Bunny carrot dick. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Got that BCE big carrot energy. I think every single thing about this look was incredible. The performance was great. The filth element was there for me. I hated the critique. I can't remember if it was Drac or Swan that said, well, it didn't really hit Easter Bunny for me in the filth. And I'm like, y'all.
It was Drac, because of course it was Drac.
Of course it was Drac. And I'm like, no, you are just wrong. And I'm okay, I'm not a contestant on Dragula. I doubt I ever will be. But there are times where I will disagree with the judges. And on this particular week, I disagree with that critique. I think it fit perfectly. It doesn't always have to be so on the nose. And also, that's a critique that has been thrown at other monsters before, is that they went too on the nose. I feel like if Gray had shown up with some like Easter eggs and that had been somehow connected to the filth, they would have said, oh, it was a little too on the nose for us this week. But you were still great. And I think there was no way for Gray to win this week. I think they wanted Asia to win. And not saying Asia didn't deserve it. I think she looked great. But I just think Gray couldn't win for losing this week, and I am bummed that Gray didn't win.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I don't think I'm as bummed, even though this was my favorite. But yeah, I thought this was such a cool look and such a cool concept. Like, this really, once again, like, Gray is just becoming one of the most cinematic drag monsters for me. Like, this could be a character from a movie once again. And I love that we're still seeing that signature scalp going on. I think that's really cool. The carrot just popping out slowly, that was so clever. I will say I was a little confused by what was going on during the filth segment. It seemed, was that an egg that Gray broke and used as lube?
No, I think it was like candy.
Oh, okay.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I can't tell what's in that basket. It kind of looks like
I think it's carrots.
Okay.
Whatever it was, I liked it.
I guess I wanted to know the story a little bit better, and that might be the editor's job for not showing me what was broken and became the lube. But it was a really cool story, and I do agree. I think this is absolutely going to go down as one of my favorite looks and floor shows in the show's history for sure.
Oh no, I have the exact same opinion as everybody else on the panel. No, I really enjoy this. This was my winner this week, simply just because the look is so next level. Like, the look is so good. The carrot dick popping out of nowhere. Brooke, I never want to hear big carrot energy again. I would just rather really not hear that phrase ever again in my entire life. But I am genuinely surprised with what Gray has presented for the last 3 weeks, that Gray is still sitting here without a win. Like, that is just kind of surprising to me.
Stunning.
But I think this was very, very successfully done.
Would have been in my top all 3 weeks so far.
Well,
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Same.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah. Scuzz.
Overflowing.
99.
Damn. It's a full cup for sure.
Can't quite get that David Healy full cup today.
Can't quite hit the Hannah Montrese look, huh?
And it was the banana look. Never mind.
But Asia has gotten a full cup for me this season.
Valid.
I was hoping she was next in the slideshow, but no. Oh God, no. It's Desiree Dik and her chicken.
Girl, the second she walked out on that runway, I was like, this is Derek Barry at a freaking Thanksgiving dinner. I'm sorry.
No, Desiree's makeup looks better than Derek's.
Okay, not talking about the makeup, just the look, just the fit. Like, ooh, I did it again, I guess. Like, I feel bad, but that was I can't do it, and I'm not gonna. But that was the first vibe I got, was just like the Derek Barry All-Stars 5 tuxedo entrance with different hair, and then the pilgrim hat. I don't think the chicken critique was valid. I don't really particularly care which foul was brought on the stage by Ms. Dik tonight. But I think this look was just really plain. And I'm not saying anything more beyond that. I just think it was not my favorite.
Yeah, what I think is interesting is I guarantee you, if you added up how many seconds they spent on each person in the floor show, I think Desiree got the most airtime. And it's because there was so much going on with their delivery, with the performance, with the filth. And I think for the most part, that was all really successful. It was really gross. She was taking it places, like the fisting of the chicken, and part of me was like wondering, oh, did she actually like penetrate the chicken too with that dick, and they cut away? Because it looked like she was about to, and they cut away. So I want to give her major props for really going there with everything she did. Unfortunately, I don't think she went there with the look itself or the makeup. And I am a little confused because I've seen a lot. We've looked at her Instagram. I've seen a lot of quality things. This just isn't up to her standard. Like, and I'm sure she would even say that looking back. Yeah, I was just disappointed aesthetically. I wonder if something went wrong, if something didn't get delivered or whatever. But even then, like, the makeup is not her level of makeup. So yeah, overall, this wasn't her night, except for bringing good TV. Then it was.
I mean, frankly, I think she had the best filth.
Mm-hmm.
Fisting a chicken. I don't need to say anything else. Like, she had the best filth for me. The look is... No. I would like to be nice to Desiree, so I will no longer comment on this. Scores.
I don't want to do it, but I feel like I kind of have to.
Oh no.
This is plead the Pomora fifth. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. And I don't plead very often. I usually go straight to Broken Cup, but I'm gonna plead. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not going to forget everything she did in the floor show, and that has to count for something. So I'm going to give her a 55.
Based on the filth element and the filth element alone, I'm giving her a 50. Because it was 50% of the challenge. And she
Oh God. I just put two and two together on that. Oh God.
Thank you. Next up, Aurora Gosmic. I'm so sorry. Baby Aurora Gosmic.
I liked that. That was good.
Thank you. I meant to do it with pie too, and I forgot to. So Baby Pie.
Baby Pie sounds like a friggin' pie shop name. I'm here for it.
Baby Pie. Do. Sorry, go ahead.
I did it earlier. I was doing Baby Shark. Never mind. Besides the point. I think this was. I did prefer Pie's look for sure, but I will say I don't think Aurora's look was bad at all. I think the top 8 of this week were all fantastic. I just unfortunately think out of 10 people, Aurora was 8th, and that does, by default, put you in the bottom 3. And I can't really say much more than that negatively, because I think overall very successful look. I think the concept was well executed. I think that the bonnet was really cool. I like the texture of the bonnet is just really interesting. I think the concept was really cool. And again, I'm not going to say, oh, it was unique, because I mean, we had 2 Baby New Years and they were both kind of going for the same like ish vibe. But I just think Pie was a little bit more successful with that vibe. And I think Aurora, unfortunately, is in my bottom 3, but not for anything she did.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Like Aurora's just barely in my bottom 3, and that's kind of by default because everybody else did a hair better. What I do want to say is I think she had one of the bigger transformations with her face. Like I thought this wasn't necessarily a face I would expect from her. So I like that she's going outside of the box there. I do think knowing that she was going to be the New Year's baby, I think everything else is a little bit inside the box for her and a little expected. So I do wish she had pushed the boundaries a little bit more. It still looks good, and she had some good filth elements as well. But I just wish she had really pushed herself to have more of an outside of the box look, but still pretty good.
Yeah, I liked what Aurora did. I think this is my favorite thing Aurora's presented so far, because I think it just was, like you said, David, it was so out of the box. The transformation of the face alone, I'm like, okay, I think Aurora just needed a little bit of time to warm up, and I think we're gonna start to get really good Aurora Gosmic soon, and I'm excited about that. The look was good. It was disgusting. It was gross. Again, I hate babies. I think her actual filth element, if I was going to compare her filth element with Pie's, I think her filth element was a lot better, actually. I think the bottle with all of the gross green, whatever, that I'm going to stop thinking about, because I literally, when Aurora started her filth segment, I literally had to stop eating dinner, and I could not finish my dinner last night. It was, yeah, I think she did really good.
And I would also like to amend my statement that she was in my bottom 3. She was not in my bottom 3. She was in my bottom 4, for the record.
Yeah, I was gonna say you said bottom 3 earlier, and it was not Aurora.
I wanted to fix that statement for the just.
My
apologies, misspoke.
Guys,
a sensible 74.
80.
81. Next up, Asia Consent. Coat hanger, not included.
I don't know. Is the coat hanger in the image?
It is actually in the face shot. The little it's when she's holding it up when she's talking to Tananarive.
Shout out to Tananarive. So Yeah, but I really, really, really need to stop thinking that Asia Consent is not winning this season. Um, like, unless something comes up out of nowhere and Asia is just randomly in the bottom and goes home, I don't see a world where Asia is not at minimum in the finale. I think Asia has hit every assignment out of the park. Um, Granted, do I always get what Asia is going for? No. But do I recognize that even if I don't get it, it's probably something that makes sense to people who do get it and it still looks great? Yeah. This week I did get it. I think Mother's Day was such a creative idea. And I think, I know you said you thought that Desiree had the best filth. I think Asia had the best filth this week. Um, and I think this look is just so awesome from top to bottom. Literally, I cannot find fault in it. Outside of, I just don't think it was better than Gray. That's the only thing I have to say negatively about Asia this week.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, as far as a look goes, it was second to Gray for me. And that's not saying much because I gave Gray a very high score. And this is such a good look. Like, there's so many details in here. This is probably the most detail oriented look of the night. Just like the idea of this mother who's basically like the worst mother possible. Like, her baby's just become part of her outfit, basically. Like, even she's got all these cigarettes in her hair. Like, I just think this was such a cool idea. And her makeup is stunning. I really like all of these little hairs she does with her eyebrows. I think that's super cool. And then of course the actual floor show element of it and cutting open her stomach, having that clothes hanger there, which we know what that means, and then eating her baby whose face looks just like hers. I was just so shocked at how far she took it. And it takes a lot for this show to shock me. I think this is one of the craziest floor shows I've ever seen. So I absolutely think, taking that into account as well, I think she absolutely was the rightful winner. But as far as the look goes, she lost by a hair for me to Gray. But still, this was incredible.
Now, as I mentioned in the recap, I did not understand what her holiday was until David so kindly explained it to me. With that being said, my score is going to be modified, but my top three from earlier will not be modified. Because this is absolutely incredible in every possible way. The look is absolutely insane. The makeup is amazing. The dress is amazing. The filth was amazing. She is amazing. Period. Scores.
Full. Absolutely full. Fantastic.
I'm going to give her a 98.
99. And last up, Majesty.
So, I just got a question. Okay, just a question. In what world should this have been saved? Because it wasn't the world we live in. Not this one. Not this one right here. Not this one. I think this look was okay. I don't think it was anything particularly special. I don't think she should have been in the bottom two. But I'm waiting for them to give her a bit of a, hey, wake up, kind of a situation. I don't think she should have been high the first week. I don't think she has performed very well these first 3 weeks in general. And I'm not a hater. I am a fan. Because I think, especially this season, she has provided some good TV. And I will say, I didn't dislike her first week. I just didn't think it was in the top three. I don't get how this was saved. When there were everyone else other than the bottom two were better than her. So by default, she should have been in the bottom three. I like the stilts. Yay, stilts. But the filth was mid. The look, it's mid. The wig is awful. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I agree. The stilts was my favorite part about this. But then today I actually saw like Aurora has actually done the exact same look on stilts. So it felt like this wasn't even that original for her. I don't think it's a bad look by any mean. It's a little like cleanish ghost. It's kind of like no shade, but it's kind of Jarvis Hammer coated for me. And it feels a little too clean. Like other than that yellow there for the crotch that is supposed to be pee, even though if you're peeing that color of yellow, you definitely need to go to the hospital. I don't know. It just was not the most exciting for me. This would have been in my bottom two, definitely.
The flag was fun. Scores?
Is that it? Is that all you're saying? Is just the flag
Yep.
was fun? Well, bitch, work, I guess. I'm gonna go with a 71.
I gave her a 72.
71. And that's that. We're done.
Uglies.
Woo. Okay, uglies. Cubes everywhere. No, I'm kidding. Thank you for joining us for this Look Over Here episode. Make sure to go check out our recap episode where we talk all about this wild, crazy episode. And all I have to say is, Nar!
No.
Nar!
No.
No! Make sure to subscribe, like, and share on the way out. Check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, and where you can get your merch, including but not limited to cup mug, available at lonagcreations.etsy.com, where we do ship domestically within the United States and internationally, so there are no excuses. Unless your country is currently on fire, or underwater, then there are some excuses. And with all that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. So, cheers!
Cheers. Abora.
Nar!